What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of some of the weirdest, creepiest, and most unexplained TikToks I can find. Don't forget to join me every Wednesday and Sunday for a brand new video at 4:15 p.m. PST. Speaking of which, sorry we didn't have a new video last Sunday. I was super wrecked from work if you missed my community post, but yeah, we should be back on schedule this week. So I'll see you again on Sunday. I'm actually really excited for Sunday's video because I've been deep down the rabbit hole in UFO research for the past week, ever since I did last week's video about that Reddit post about a guy who supposedly did an autopsy on an alien. If you missed that, I'll link it at the end of this video because it is mind-boggling stuff. And I've also been following some research that's being done around the Malaysian Missing Airlines flight MH370, and it all kind of ties in together. So I think I'm gonna kind of figure out how to package that, and that's what we're gonna do on Sunday. So it's gonna be a weird one. But yeah, if you missed my first video talking about the alien autopsy, I'll link that at the end of the video. Yeah, anyway, I'll stop talking. Without further ado, let's jump right in. When he has an argument with the ghost in the house. Nope.
No. We don't do that shit. Oh.
It's hilarious. I feel like this is probably your best approach at doing talking with ghosts. Just put them in their place. No, bad ghost. I think I've said that before, right?
A secret cult was found inside this church in Europe.
It's one of the creepiest places found on Google Maps.
So I flew 700 miles to knock on the door and confront them.
It's locked. I'm gonna look through the keyhole.
What are you doing? Kirsty, look through the keyhole.
I don't want to look through. Just look through the keyhole.
What the f is that?
Ew.
Is that actually people? So I knocked on the door to speak to them. Watch my full video to see what happened.
There was just statues, right? There are 100% statues. And did she show statues in there in the first place? She literally gave it away at the beginning. Why were we... She knows there were statues in there, right? I mean, obviously, she's just trying to get you to go watch her full video. I get it. And it is creepy, but somebody commented and said it's a church in the Czech Republic and it's not a cult. It's just statues under blankets. Yeah, all right. I don't know. Creepy statues inside a church. Oh. Why? Burn that doll. That one too. All of them.
This one actually kind of looks like you.
I don't see it.
Ew.
Its eyes moved. I'm serious.
I'm pretty sure
dude.
that one's fake,
The
though.
little figurine's eyes moved.
Why are you always messing with me?
What the?
Just got home from work.
This needs to stop. I need help, please.
Weird spot for that shovel to be.
Whoa, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Dang, I want to see more of that last video. Yeah, dolls are inherently creepy, especially when they do this and have no batteries in them and still do their animatronic thing. No thank you. They do have a Chucky Halloween Horror Nights late night show. It's like Chucky's late night show at Halloween Horror Nights if you happen to be in Orlando or Los Angeles or Japan. I think they have it in the Tokyo one as well. I'm not sure. I think it's Tokyo. Actually, I'm not sure about that either. Look this up. It's pretty easy to find out, huh? Well, I was way off. It's in Beijing. My fault. Yeah, if you happen to be in Beijing, Los Angeles, or Florida. Fun fact, they are opening one in Texas, so that's kind of cool. And then they're opening another one in Florida but it's got a younger target audience. They're trying to be more competitive with Disneyland. So, yeah, the Chucky show was pretty good. That was my point. I did get to see it, and it was pretty good. So, anyway, next video.
I am absolutely shocked at this house. Like, nothing could have prepared me for it. It's in Tacoma, Washington, and at first I thought, not a bad place for the price. I saw this picture, I thought, okay, small bathroom, kind of a weird window placement, but whatever, no big deal. Until I scrolled to this picture, and I kid you not, my jaw
Ew.
the floor. That is a whole ass decomp stain. Hello? Nowhere in the listing does it explain what this is. I even took it upon myself to look up the address. Nothing. Couldn't find anything. And then they just continue on, never addressing the elephant in the room. I don't know if Washington is one of those states where they don't have to disclose what horrific events have taken place in the house that you want to buy. This is the description if you want to pause and read, but again, nowhere in here does it explain what's going on, but that picture speaks for itself. I mean,
Zillow needs to add a comment section so we can talk about crap like this. What? Then people could go and be like, hey, I visited this house. Also, there's a decomp stain. What appears to be, allegedly, a decomp stain. Super creepy. Would you buy that house? I don't think I would. I mean, look, you buy an old house, there's a pretty high likelihood that somebody has died in it. But usually if somebody does, they clean it up a little bit. I mean, obviously that was probably the last person that lived in that house. Somehow died there. And, you know, who knows? Maybe they just didn't get found for a long time. That's why the decomp stain happened, and which is sad and gross, but doesn't necessarily mean that anything horrific happened there, but it was a pretty nasty stain. You would think they would try to change the floors out or something, try to sell the house, but oy.
Viewer discretion highly advised. Inside this farmhouse will shock you to your core.
You?
Farm owners Rosie and George kept their deceased pets in coffins and Tupperware underneath their beds for over 20 years.
No!
We found cats in boxes, dogs in coffins, and hundreds of sheep carcasses. We also found newspapers over 100 years old, documenting the sinking of the Titanic. A true abandoned house of horrors. What were these people up to?
Oh, that was super uncomfortable. Also, I'm probably going to have to blur a lot of that. I don't know if I can show some of that stuff on YouTube, so I'll post an unedited version of that clip on my Patreon if you want to check it out over there. Super uncomfortable, but I mean, I guess it's an old farmhouse, right? So they're probably like super old school. They might have been hoarders, you know? But why keep them? Like, why not go bury them? You got land, it looks like. So I don't know why you wouldn't go bury them somewhere, and why you would keep them in Tupperware and coffins inside of your home. God, that had to smell so awful in there at one point. Or not even probably at one point. If they had so many, it was probably over a period of years. And it probably just always smelled bad because they always had a rotting animal body in there. Ew. All right, cleanse the palate.
In the following video, two friends are goofing off inside an indoor playground at a time when no one else is around.
Shot me 3 times. Okay, where'd you go?
It's late at night, and the restaurant where the kids' play area is located isn't being occupied by children. So, with not much else to do, both friends rush over to the restaurant's playground to have some fun. However, it would be during this playful moment that something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following is what they caught. Take a look.
Okay, this is my POV. Enjoy. This is really hard. I feel too big to do this.
You are too big to do this.
Yeah. Wait, where'd you go? Left or right? I went left. Which way do I go? I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Okay, she went that way. Freaky. Yours is brighter. Mine's all...
The hell was that?
Okay. Yours is brighter. Mine's all dark. Okay. You guys, I can't do this. I feel like I keep bonking my head too. That's crazy. There's like actually look down here. This is literally for human hamsters. Oh my god, someone bashed in this window. I feel like this is...
Neither friend had realized what was caught until much later, and the one recording this didn't hear anything while taking the video. The only voice heard was her friend's, who was somewhere far off in the jungle gym. The other voice was completely missed, but not by the camera's mic, as apparently a child's voice is captured.
Yours is brighter, mine's all dark.
It isn't clear as to what's being said or whispered, but it sounds like the babbling noise you'd hear from a young child. For this reason, viewers think that this might have been the ghost of a child who hasn't left the playground. If that's the case, then who knows what else happens at night when no one else is around. While it isn't exactly certain what was caught, both friends were creeped out by this clip. But unfortunately, like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
Yours is brighter, mine's all... Yours is brighter, mine's all... Yours is brighter. Yours is...
It kind of sounds like it's saying, get in, I dare you.
Yours is brighter, mine's all... Yours is brighter, mine... Yours is brighter, mine's all... dark. Yours is brighter.
Oh no, it's super creepy. Like, obviously, like any of these, it could be fake, of course. Like, I don't even need to say it at this point, but, you know. I thought it was gonna be that girl at the beginning. I thought she got possessed in the freaking playhouse or something. I wonder if it could be like, I don't know, maybe a kid's spirit in that playhouse, that maybe they tragically passed away there or something. It happens. Or it could be something that's not a child, that's pretending to be a child that should probably just stay away from that place, you know? All right, so this one comes with instructions. It says we keep your eyes on the middle. Trust me, it's like little crosshairs or whatever. Keep your eyes on the middle. Oh. These faces have not been altered. Ew. Why does it do that? Does it make my face look weird because I'm on the screen right now? Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this back later. Is my face gonna look weird? Oh. I just realized that. My face is gonna be doing this. These are all normal faces. Ah, it's so creepy. Like, when you stare at the faces, they're just pretty normal faces. But when you stare at the crosshairs, they all look like freaking bad AI or something. Ugh. Or maybe the video is just smart and it knows whether you're looking at the crosshairs or you're looking at the person and it changes them. Come on. No, it's not real. Joking.
When you want to see why your kids keep screaming and realize they summon some spirits.
So let me share something really strange with you guys.
That's where you cut the video?
I'm here to inspect this house, see what's going on in case of repairs. And there's this unfinished room up here. Yeah, it's in this room. And if you look over here, look up, the other side of it's on this bedroom. How weird is that? We're just gonna get on the trusty old ladder here. Up we go. And gonna have to Jason Bourne this part, so 1 sec. Okay, we are in the hidden secret room here. And as you can see, it doesn't connect to anything. There is no way to access this room.
That's weird.
It's just up here. No ventilation, no nothing. Mystery door here. Who knows what entity I left out with that. Let's see. Maybe live wire. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, let's see if I can get back down here. Oh, outlet that was installed, but I guess they gave up. Nope, I was wrong. There actually is a ventilation on the floor. And another outlet right there. Okay, safely back down the ladder, but yeah. That is very strange.
This one says, this may be proof that fallen angels was real. 7 a.m. my wife and dog are just getting up. Little did they know that a male negative entity says, they fell earth. Why else would he say something like this? Make this a little bigger. Well, I mean, this one just sounded like something was falling outside. I didn't hear anything that sounded like they fell earth. That's dumb. This one, creepy room. I feel like at some point, and let me go back to, so like right in this moment, he's like up there and he looks over and there's like this hole that goes down there to the bedroom. I feel like there was probably a staircase up this at one point into this little loft. And for whatever reason, they decided not to use it anymore, which is weird. You have like an extra 300 square feet of space up there and you're not going to use it? Strange. I don't know. Maybe they wanted bigger bedrooms, but I think they would just, I know it's not really that creepy, but it is weird. Why would somebody do that to their house? Okay, anyway. And to be fair, that wasn't clipped in with these other two videos. So this one was creepy. Well, why did they cut the video off right when something happens? Was that light up there the whole time? This is what I'm confused about. It seems like a weird light fixture, right? I don't know. Is that, anybody seen a light fixture? It looks like a lamp, but it's built into the wall, and it's like 7 feet in the air or something. But I mean, I guess to be fair, somebody could have just flipped on a light switch on the side. They could have been having the kids play and whatever. So maybe not that creepy, but definitely weird. Anyway. Oh, I thought this would be interesting. Top 3 most effed up 2-sentence horror stories. I haven't read them yet, so I thought we'd check them out together, you know? There's only a few, so if you don't like it, just hold on a second. We'll be back to the videos. Son, your family is starving and we need you once again, Dad says, wielding the dulled knife. Every day I wish that the global nuclear war had taken my life, instead of giving me the powers of limb regeneration. Yeah, that would suck. I heard my girlfriend say, I should plant some endangered plants over there. I heard my girlfriend say, I should plant some endangered plants over here. And that's when I knew I would never be rescued, or my body be ever found. I tried to forgive the drunk driver that killed my wife. One day, however, I saw his son playing in the street, and the rage took over. That's dark. Damn. Like, limb regeneration sounds cool in theory until you're, starving in a post-apocalyptic wasteland and your family needs to eat your limbs to survive. But you would also think, like, why do they gotta use a dulled knife? Like, you could sharpen it. You don't have to, that's kind of messed up. I feel like there are some better 2-sentence horror stories out there. I've seen some in the past that are really good. But yeah, if that's like a style of video you'd like to see more of, I don't know, let me know. I could knock some of those out probably. It'd be fun.
And put both his feet in the jar. Then, he crouched down and stuffed in his legs. I watched in awe as he squeezed his entire body into it, until it was completely inside the jar. His face was visible, but was completely smushed up against the glass, and I could finally see his face. He looked to be some balding middle-aged guy living in a drafty old apartment. Then, with his one free arm, he reached over and grabbed a lid and somehow managed to put it on top of himself, closing the jar with his entire body sealed inside. I couldn't tell if the pressure was distorting his face or if he was just crazy, but he smiled at me very disturbingly, like he was waiting for me to applaud. I didn't have any words. I couldn't comprehend how a grown man had fit himself into something so small.
Well, what do you think?
That's very cool, but can you get out?
Can I get out? Of course I can get out. What?
That's when he tried to push the lid off, but as soon as I saw it not move, the man's smile started to slowly vanish from his face. I knew something was wrong. He kept trying to push himself up to get the lid off his back, but he wasn't able to budge it. He was too tightly packed in there to maneuver, and he couldn't get any leverage from the position he was in. All of a sudden, panic was written all over him. His face turned red and puffy, and he frantically tried to move whatever he could, but all of it barely amounted to anything more than rattling his cage. Quickly, it started to seem as though he was having trouble breathing, too.
Help me! I can't move, I'm stuck! Oh God, I'm stuck! No!
I just realized I'm not breathing, oh my God.
Get me out of here, please!
But I don't know where you are! Tell me where you are and I'll call the cops!
After the reality had set in that he was completely stuck, the panic had turned into utter despair. He was sobbing incoherently, completely incapable of forming words. Tears and snot and drool streaming from his face and down inside the wall of the jar.
What is your location? Tell me!
I'm in my apartment. Please come find me. Please. Come find me.
What's your address? Please, that's all I need to know and you'll be okay! Damn it, man, focus! No!
Oh,
It
no.
only took me a second to realize what I had done. I became so panicked and frustrated that I accidentally pressed the skip button when I banged my fist on the table, causing me and the stranger to be disconnected forever. I'll never be able to properly describe that sinking feeling I felt in that moment, knowing I had just doomed that man to his unusual fate of slowly suffocating, trapped, alone, unable to move. My hands were shaking uncontrollably. I didn't think there was anything I could do. If I called the police, They wouldn't be able to find him since I never heard his address. I didn't record any of it, and there's no way of knowing where somebody is from Omegle. Without a better idea, I swore to never go back on there. I tried to forget that I was ever on Omegle in the first place. I actually got drunk for the first time that night, in hopes that I could go to bed and sleep without much trouble. But God knows, even after all these years, there's nothing that will get the image of that trapped man in a jar out of my head. It's been haunting me for so long. Every day I wonder what happened to him, if anybody ever came to rescue him, or if those moments he spent with me over the internet were his last moments with anyone. These days, I remember one man, one jar, as a friend.
It's wild. It's like the opposite one man, one jar. If you don't know what that is, consider yourself lucky and just don't Google it, alright? How big was that jar? I know this is like not real like footage or anything, but supposedly it's a true story. You know, whether that's true or not. Imagine farting in the jar. You'd be cooked, bro. And I'm not super familiar with Omegle, but I think if somebody skips you, don't you also have to skip before it goes to another person? So it's not like another person was gonna be matched with the guy in the jar because he couldn't click next, right? Or skip or whatever. Oh, it's horrifying. I imagine a death like that would make it to the news. I do not recommend Googling, did a man die in a jar? There's 1,000 one man, one jar results. But I don't know why I thought that I'd be able to find that out.
The most mysterious broadcast to ever exist.
The Celine Delgado broadcast.
In the 1990s, there was a Mexican television channel that broadcasted information about missing people. The broadcast usually appears during commercial breaks to help spread the word on missing people. It was followed by the name, the age, and the dates they went missing. However, one missing woman had something on her face that scared almost everyone watching the broadcast.
Álvaro Obregón, del 28 de mayo del año 2000.
What?
The woman named Celine Delgado was interrupted by this creepy-looking image that is unidentifiable. Nobody knows where the image came from or what it was. This broadcast also cut during children's TV shows and made kids horrified. There's a theory going around that the disturbing image is a sketch of Derek Todd Lee, an American serial killer from the late 1990s. The most mysterious broadcast.
So if you Google that guy's name, Derek Todd Lee, he was the Baton Rouge serial killer. And that's a police sketch that was done of him. I'm assuming before he was caught, probably from one of his victims. I don't know a whole lot about him, honestly. I just kind of read his like the first paragraph of his Wikipedia bio. But for as much as I like the macabre and the like dark side and the dark things in the world, I never really was super into like serial killers or like the serial killer documentaries and stuff. Like I'll watch them and I like true crime, I guess. But I very much prefer like the paranormal and all that kind of stuff. Never really got into like the serial killers and. Which is interesting because that is still unexplained. It's unexplained why people do that, you know? I mean, I guess it's kind of explained, trauma and psychopathy, right? This police sketch is really creepy, I will give it that. But it's probably just the uncanny valley effect because the eyes are too big. And it is known thing that they exaggerate features because that's supposed to help you recognize somebody or something. But there is like a psychology behind it. They do that on purpose in police sketches. So it is creepy though. I've seen an owl outside my window every night this week and wanted to get a picture. Oh my god. Let's see that. It's not an owl. It scared the crap out of me. Mute that so I don't blow my eardrums out again. You can definitely make out a full leg. Looks like boots. Like the pants bunching up at the bottom. Yeah, I don't think it's an owl. I think it's somebody with an owl mask, which is super creepy. But also, you just set up a camera and do this yourself outside of your own window, right? The loud noise is what was scary, not the fact that it... God, it made me jump so bad, though. Yeah, I think I'd be going outside with a baseball bat. Or, you know, something else.
You know, I packed that thing too, so you come around this way, you will get caught.
When you having a mental breakdown and see that you crying yellow?
And I don't eat? What the fuck? Why am I crying yellow?
Ew. Head to the hospital immediately.
What the fuck? I'm crying yellow.
She's got highlighter coming out of her eyes. What the hell? Sorry, that was the worst face to stop it on. Ew. Yeah, I would immediately go to the doctor. Like, or hospital or something, because what? Has this happened to anyone? Somebody in the comments said she probably just went to the eye doctor and they put color in her eyes to see the eye better. I also cried yellow tears after. So, that's a pretty plausible explanation. She probably went to the eye doctor, had that ink coming out of her eyes, and then was like, this would be a funny TikTok. It worked. Somebody said she's crying Fanta. This one says, scariest things ever caught on camera. Ew. I mean, it's obviously like makeup and a prosthetic. This is a classic. We've seen this. Somebody did tell me that this came out to be faked, which, thank God, this is real. Little kid wearing his mom's wig, or her mom's wig. Oh, this is another one. This is another old one. She glitches out for a second. It's super creepy. She's stuck. It would be a kind of funny joke to play on your friends, though. Sitting at dinner and you just glitch out for a second. My mom loves to tell the story about how when I was a toddler, I used to love to put on her wig and run around just like this. It was a phase I grew out of. So, you know, I wasn't doing that until I was like 10 or anything, but... And if I was, so what? Yeah, Elma Woman always freaks me out. I know it's supposed to be fake, but... not a fan. It was very good acting if that was fake. And then, yeah, the girl glitching out. That's something I would do at dinner. Just like, I don't know. It'd be funny to me. This is Lou Elizondo, the Pentagon whistleblower about UFOs, UAPs, and everything. He has played and will continue to play a large hand in the government's form of disclosure about this entire phenomenon. He's done a lot of interviews, but he is very much, and he has always been adamantly clear that he is only allowed to say so much, and he won't say things that he's not allowed to say. Like, he's still under the top or the classified clearances and everything, I believe. But he was the director of the now defunct Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also known as ATIP, and they are associated with like the official UFO videos that the Pentagon has released. This is a piece of his interview. To be fair, a lot of people in the UFO, UAP research community that are like not associated with the government whatsoever, that are just do it of their own free will, don't really like this guy. And I can understand there's still a contingent of people that do like him and appreciate the work he's doing, because they're kind of like me, that you know, he doesn't want to go to prison for the rest of his life, and he's under contracts with the U.S. government to not say so much, you know, to not say anything that he isn't allowed to say. So I understand why he's so limited in what he says, and I do believe that his work is important. He did just drop a book, which that's kind of the reason that some people don't like him. They think he's in it for the money because he's doing books and paid speeches and not speeches, but like seminars and stuff. But, you know, it's also like, if you're going to turn your life to hell by going public with this after being a government official, then why not make a little bit of money, you know? I don't remember who it was, but somebody once said, you go into government for any other reason than to become rich and you're an idiot, or something to that effect. I don't know. I'll have to look into that because I don't know. I'm misquoting that, but it's something to that effect. And that's basically the gist. But anyway, this is an interesting piece of an interview he did. And he supposedly witnessed an alien implant.
You've seen one of those implants, haven't you?
I have been privy to some very interesting things.
This photo, he says, shows one of those interesting things. It's allegedly a biological sample removed from a US service member and submitted for analysis. This is possibly an alien implant.
Well, if you look, there's actually a piece of the chip sticking out and what appears to be these fibers that were moving on their own. And then it looks like this chip or whatever this is, this foreign object, is encapsulated by some sort of biological material.
could that not be something biological, microbiological, or parasitic?
Well, it certainly, the outside looks like it's some sort of masking device. In essence, you have a foreign object, which it's a metallic object in there, and it seems to be encapsulated by some sort of biological material.
But how do you know it's not just a bit of metal that somebody's knocked into on a building site?
Well, in this particular case, this was moving on its own. It was actually had its own metabolic activity, and it terrified one of the doctors who was looking at this under a microscope. Said they didn't want to see this again.
You've seen one of those implants, haven't you?
No kidding, they didn't want to see it again. Get this shit away from me. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it. Yeah, I would never want to see this thing again either. That's horrifying. Which brings me to my next point that I talked about at the beginning of the video. If you missed my breakdown, it wasn't really a breakdown. I just kind of read through it, and truthfully, I put it at the end of a reaction video 2 weeks ago, I think. But I'll link it I'll link it at the end of this. But it was a Reddit thread of a guy or a person who gave a very detailed description of what it was like to autopsy an alien body. So, dude, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that you start reading and then it hooks you and then you can't stop thinking about for weeks on end. And I'm going to do a full breakdown of it and go. I kind of just did an overview of it at the end of that reaction video, but I'm going to do a full video dedicated to that and some other stuff that I've been going down the rabbit hole on. So, yeah, keep a lookout for that. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to drop it, but it will be in the next couple weeks at least. Yeah, hopefully Sunday, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to record, so we'll see. It will definitely be in the next couple weeks at the very least. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm so fascinated by all this alien UFO advanced technology talk. So this stuff is some of the most fascinating stuff I could even think about. Like, just the possibilities that are next, you know, if that technology starts getting out into the world and we can start making some real advancements as a species. I don't know. The possibilities, baby. There you have it, folks. That is another compilation of some of the weirdest, creepiest, and most unexplained TikToks I can find. We did it, we done it. We're doing it some more. Don't forget to join me over on Patreon, where I drop unedited and uncensored clips of things that I can't post on YouTube. And you can reach out to me 24/7 on there. There's a messaging and a chat, and yeah, you can talk to me anytime, pretty much. I do have some people that I owe a Zoom call to that are my top tier members, so I will get to you, I promise. I'm gonna reach out to you this week and set that up. I owe you one, sorry. If you want to check out that reaction video where the whole last half of the video is me going through that Reddit thread about the alien autopsy, I'll link that right up here, so you can go check that out now. Or actually, no, I'm gonna put it maybe there. I'll put it on the screen now. Merch store is live, it's down there, I say it all the time, but one thing I don't always mention is that I do have a lot of links in my description of each video, and those are affiliate links. If you do see anything you happen to need, then you might get a discount, or you know, at the very least, I'll get a small commission from it. So it is another way to support the channel, but you know, no pressure. If you see anything you like, check it out. Thank you for tuning in, I appreciate you, I love you. So until next time, stay creepy.